Hey Divine Ones, it's Jerome Braggs, the intuitive, who shares with you what he's learned about how to heal ourselves and manifest a life that feels like heaven on earth through the practice of self-love. Today is the 29th video in my 30-day video series. This is the next to the last video. I can't believe it. It's been such a journey. And today is going to be a really good one. They've all been pretty good in my opinion, but this one particularly is something that I want to share with you that really transformed how I show up in the world and the experience I have of this life. So I've shared with you throughout this video series about my near-death experience and some of the things that I learned. But I've pretty much been talking to you about one of the messages I got in my near-death experience in 2005, which was that loving ourselves is the key to all healing and all well-being. That was something that Source told me when I was in my near-death experience, and the conversation I had with Source. That was the main conversation because I had literally, died because I was sick, and I wanted to know how to heal and how to be well and how to live a good life. So the majority of my conversation with Source was about that. But there was another piece that Source told me that actually took me years to really understand and really ground. And that was, Source told me that I knew a lot at the time. Again, this was in 2005. So at that time I was 23. I was 24. And Source said I knew a lot about how to push and force and try to make life be good to me. But I didn't know shit about how to let it be good to me. And Source did say shit. I remember that very clearly. That I didn't know shit about how to let life be good to me. That life wanted to be good to me. That it was designed to be good to me. And that I had to learn how to let it. Instead of trying to make it, I had to learn how to let it. That I didn't know anything about that, but I was going to learn that my life journey after this near-death experience was going to be a journey about how to let life be good. And it has been that. And the keys that I learned about this was that, one, we're so taught and socialized in many of our institutions and systems here. We're taught so much about how to give of ourselves, how to be of service to others, how to give love, how to be loving to others. But there's a whole other aspect that we're missing. And this aspect is the aspect that literally unlocks the doorway to heaven on earth. And that is the aspect of receiving. How to actually receive the good. Instead of trying to make it, to just be open and receiving, to being loved. Not just being loving, but actually being loved. That life wants to love us. And when I really got that piece and I started to work with this, as I started to do more work around loving myself and I started to feel more worthy, like understanding that I am lovable, I am enough as I am deserving and worthy of whatever I want as I am. I understood that I was loved and that it was safe for me to express all the aspects of who I am in this lifetime. And I began to trust that life loves me, and I began to feel worthy, and I began to follow my joy. I began to stop starving myself of fulfillment and satisfaction and pleasure, and I prioritized these things every day. My life began to feel like heaven. And this is what I learned was, one, that was the keys to unlocking this experience of heaven, was like, when we feel worthy, when we remove all the belief systems we have that make us feel unworthy in any way, and we start to feel unconditionally worthy. One, we start to relax. That takes stress. We're not trying to overprove ourselves. We're not overexerting ourselves. We don't have overwhelm anymore. We exist in this space of leisure and expecting good things to come. Right? That's something that happened. The more worthy I've felt, the more I just expect good to come. I know I am good, I am lovable, and I am loved, and I expect every day for life to prove that to me. And it does, right? And the more I trusted that life loves me and that I am safe in this life, the more this has been proved to me, right? The more I move through the world in this life that feels safe and feels like it appreciates me and it accepts me and is here to nourish me. And the more I followed my joy, the more delicious life has felt, and the more my vibration has raised, and the more happy I've been. And life just keeps getting better and better and better. And here is the thing that I wanted to share about why I called this video, What If This Is Heaven Too? So, when you cross over to the other side, one of the things that almost every person who's had a near-death experience that they say, which is something that I felt as well, when you cross over, you are almost overwhelmed with this immense sense of being loved. Like every aspect of you is loved, that there is nothing about you that doesn't belong, that there is nothing about you that is being judged. Like everything is valuable, everything is belongs, everything is accepted, everything is appreciated, everything is free. And what my life has, what Source has been asking me to learn after this death experience was that feeling of being unconditionally loved beyond anything that I had ever experienced before, and a lot of people will say who's had a near death experience beyond what they've had since. Source was like, you're supposed to live that here. This is what this dimension is. We have all of these people saying, and I remember when I used to do readings a lot, I would be so amazed at how many people would come to me thinking they would say something like, I just want to hurry up and get this lifetime over with so I can go back to heaven. And I remember talking when I would do mediumship and I would talk to souls on the other side, and they would say something that was very controversial at the time. And they would say, this lifetime is the prize. This is the one. And that you're trying to rush to get over here. You're going to be very surprised when you get over here how much you can't wait to get back here. This is the prize. And I would say, well, yeah, but there's suffering over here, there's pain. And they said, yes. But if you will take a deeper dive into your worthiness, if you will take a deep dive into trusting that life loves you and you are lovable and loved and safe, if you will prioritize your joy and stop thinking about living for other people and stop worrying about what other people are going to think, and you just live the life you really wanted to live, you will stop having this feeling like you need to run away from this life. And you will start to see how delicious this experience is and how much the soul wants to be here. And I have to say, the more I've been doing this, the more I've seen this. Like my life feels like heaven. And I've been able to see these things too. There are some aspects of the physical dimension here that you don't have in the non-physical dimension. This is the thing about it. They're two sides of the same coin. So we think this is something that souls come to that they're trying to run away from. They're two sides of the same coin. This physical dimension is on the same kind of, if it's a coin, it's the same coin, just on the other side of the non-physical, which is why we call it the other side. So on the other side, one thing that you don't have, and this is why why it feels so blissful a lot of times when people say it feels so blissful over there, is because when you die, you leave behind your belief system that you got in this lifetime. You leave behind your belief system, you leave behind your identity, like your color and all the things you've identified with your race and your gender, your sexuality, all those different types of beliefs that you've held about what that means and what that means is possible for you. And you go back to the unlimited possibility of the soul, right? Why that's blissful is because only in those beliefs are limiting you. If you would let go of limiting beliefs, and really what Source has told me is all you really need to do is release anything that says you are not worthy and you are not loved and that you are not safe to be all of what you are in this life. If you will release those beliefs while you are here, you will see heaven manifest right in this experience. And so this last few years, I've been doing that. I've been really working at looking at where are the places in me where I don't feel worthy. Maybe I don't feel worthy about how I look. Maybe I don't feel worthy. Like I think I need to get this in order to receive this. And the thing that Source was saying is take all the conditions out of your belief system that you have placed on yourself in order to receive. I can only receive love from people when I look for like this. I can only receive money when I work really hard. I can only be healthy if I'm vegan. Like all of these conditions you've placed on your ability to receive, if you can remove those conditions and understand you are worthy unconditionally, you can receive no matter what. Every day that you live, you will see that this is heaven. And this is how I've been moving through my life in this past year. And I've got to tell you, it is beyond an experience that I can explain. I really need another hour of this video to explain it to you because I've been going through every day understanding, oh, this is heaven. I get to have what I want. I get to be who I want to be. I get to be all of who I am. I'm safe. All I have to do is keep moving every day with the understanding that I'm lovable and I'm loved, and prioritize my joy above everything else to make sure that I am feeding my soul so that my soul is fed and my frequency and vibration is high, and hold to my worthiness, and the doorway of heaven opens. And remember, I said the other side feels like what? I am loved. And that is what I'm feeling these days. I am feeling so deeply loved. And I'm feeling so deeply happy. And I know that it's only going to get better. And the key to that, to opening heaven on earth, which we are here to experience. We didn't come here to, as a school, to try and learn something, to pass a grade so we will never come back. We didn't come here to try to prove our worthiness. We are already worthy beings. We came here to experience our worthiness in physical form. We came here to express the unconditional love that we are in a world of physical conditions. We're not here to prove anything. We are here to receive everything. And that's the key. When you understand you're loved, no matter what happened to you before, no matter what they said about you, you have the keys. You just have to do this work to heal the beliefs that say you're not enough. You don't deserve. You're not lovable. Heal those and return to the truth and trust that life loves you, and it will bend over backwards to prove it to you. This is supposed to be heaven too, and you have the key to see it. Self-love is the key. The more you love yourself, the more you understand your worthiness, the more you trust in life, the more you prioritize your joy, the more you're supporting yourself, the more loved you begin to feel, the more held you begin to feel, the more safe you begin to feel, and the more you begin to live a life for which your soul came here to live. This is heaven too. And the key to get out of whatever hell you may be experiencing is love. But don't just take my word for it. Try it and prove it to yourself. You can buy my program, Self-Love Academy. The link is underneath this video. I promise you it will help you with everything I'm talking about here. You can read the books. You can go to the workshops, even if it's not from me. But you're supposed to live a delicious life. Anything less than that is less than what you came here for. I love you. Now please go love yourself. Bye.